Hello, everyone. This week we get to answer the question of how is emotional intelligence important to self-leadership and the leadership of others? I think our readings and resources did a great job defining emotional intelligence and also how they work together with self-leadership. Let's take a look at some of the findings that we've had. So Daniel Goleman defined emotional intelligence as refers to it as how we handle ourselves and our relationships, and also feels like the four areas of self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and social skills should be taught to kids regularly over time, since it is the last part of us that is actually developed the latest in when we mature. Bradbury and Greaves stated that emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and others, your ability to use this awareness to manage your behavior in your relationships. Whereas with Fertner et al. Talked about that self-leaders need to be socially, emotionally intelligent in interpersonal situations in order to get ahead. That is important for them to be able to identify their needs within themselves and also others so that they can drive and lead better. Which drives into what Goleman stated in What Makes a Leader, in that it is fortunate that emotional intelligence can be learned, although the process is not easy, because their researchers confirmed that emotional intelligence not only distinguishes outstanding leaders, but can also be linked to stronger performance. Because when they looked at abilities in IQ and emotional intelligence showed the excellence of performance, and it proved that they were twice as important in all jobs and all levels. So they really can be used to distinct yourself as a leader. And they found the higher the rank, the higher the leadership aspect was, the more important their emotional intelligence was. And then Neck et al. Put it all together and said, when we apply self-leadership and strategies to regulate our emotions effectively when dealing with emotional situations, those outcomes can be better and more positive. In that emotional regulation, emotional self-leadership, in contrast, involve the actual process of influencing emotions. But they do work with emotional intelligence, which involves the ability to perceive, understand, and regulate our own emotions. And so when thinking about the question of how emotional intelligence is important to self-leadership and leadership of others, based on the research and the findings, it is very important and very crucial that we have the ability to lead. And so when looking at my quiz, I know you guys are curious. I made an 89 overall for my emotional intelligence score. And so while my personal competence was an 85, self-awareness 91, self-management 79, got to work on that. My social competence, as you see, my fraternity, they call me the entertainer, was a 93. It says my social awareness is 100. My relationship management is an 85. I thought it was very cool that they gave us different skills and skill sets and ways to use our book to drive the changes and really build our emotional intelligence. So when I reflect on myself and my self-leadership, I definitely look straight at the deficits of, man, how can I get better, and how can I respond? Because it says that, which is interesting, because in the other things, my strength was honesty, but apparently sometimes not. One of my downfalls in my emotional intelligence is not holding back when actions and words will not help the situation. Sometimes being honest honesty is not always the best policy. Sometimes you have to have emotional intelligence, situational awareness to know when to cut things off. So I'm really excited this week. I really loved hearing and learning about emotional intelligence. I drive a lot of my trainings at my campus with this, so I'm very curious and excited to see y'all's videos and hear your scores as well.